No, no audio still. Mine is, yours isn't. Nope. No worries. It's still early.
Oh, I know why. There we go.
So for the people who are already in the stream, the audio is fixed now.
Good, good, good. Thank you. Um, so, welcome to the Friday night update. I'm here with Corney. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Can't wait to do the patch notes. Some nice and interesting stuff. So
Yeah. And I'm in the same position as last week. I've been so busy. I haven't really had a chance to do more than skim. So
well, I have. Don't worry.
it's going to be a nice surprise. So if you're already with us on the stream, welcome, welcome. It's good to have you, and let's get going. We are looking at Icarus Week 41 updates, where you play Opulence Stockpile, and you can now label your chests. A new mission, user interface improvements, and community feedback feature this week, including naming chests and building mechanics, which sounds really good.
I
That
can tell you, it is really good.
good. Um, in that vein, let's carry on. Every few weeks, we do a community feedback update where we gather up feedback you have submitted via feature upvote and our Discord community. This includes both some performance and user interface improvements. This week, we also add a new mission, Opulence Stockpile, and talk a bit about our future plans, including mounts, next week. Ooh.
Like I said, some interesting stuff there. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, that image looks like there's a polar bear creeping up on that individual, unless that's a mount.
It does look like a polar bear.
Oh, it's definitely a polar bear.
And I haven't seen anything about polar bears being available for mounts yet. So yeah, this prospector is in for a rude awakening.
I'll say. I'll say. Okay, so would you be good enough to take us through the new mission, please?
I don't know even whether or not I'm good enough, but I'll give it a try.
Oh, I know you're good enough. Okay, I'll rephrase that. Will you take us through the new mission, please?
Alrighty, no problem. Right, so this new mission called Opulence Stockpile. In the update this week, a wealthy client plans to come see the service and you're on preparation duty. You will be asked to seek out some hard to find resources, so plan your routes carefully. This is a more upbeat mission than other contracts, so try to enjoy the tranquility. This opulent stockpile mission is being operated by ACS. The biome is the verdant terraces in Styx. Not sure which biome that is, but for the background, the ACS has been contacted by a wealthy individual with a special request. The mission is to stock a supply ship in preparation for the client's visit to the surface. And the terms, prospectors that meet client requirements will be well rewarded. That must be some heck of a wealthy client then. If you can like fly out all the way to Icarus and like have an entire supply, an entire stockpile being supplied specially for him.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a VIP.
Yep. As for the will be well rewarded, well, we all know what well rewarded means.
Yeah, lots of Ren and some exotics to go with it.
Yeah, I mean you can hold it in one hand. So
Yeah.
yeah, well rewarded. Okay, but then again, gameplay is more important. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that.
especially with the main characters. So
Yeah. That looks like a pretty cool terraced house.
okay, concrete by the looks of it. Oh, and just FYI, Icarus Intel does not have this mission. So
Okay.
we're going in completely blind.
Alrighty.
Just saying. I mean, don't
But
really care, obviously, but hey,
we should know the map well enough to know where we can get certain resources.
exactly. Oh, it throws not. Well, the walls are concrete. The terrace itself looks like it's aluminum, I think. The sloped roofs are wood. Some glass, some stone. A mixture of building materials.
Yeah, I'll say. Okay.
Interesting choice of materials, but hey, right. Okay, that's for the new mission. So we have a couple of improvements here.
Mm-hmm.
A range of small but valuable improvements have been made this week. We have completed a large number of texture optimizations to reduce the amount stored in memory at runtime. This is big, because this is like one of the biggest complaints. Icarus is so memory hungry, so they optimizing that. Good.
Good.
People will be glad. We expect this should have a positive influence on performance with a significant reduction in the texture pool. So we're also talking about video RAM or VRAM. One of the biggest complaints, like you need God tier video card in order to play Icarus. Which is true, Icarus is memory hungry, both for system RAM and video memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad they are addressing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another big one, deployables can now be rotated before they are placed. Yay! This has been requested I don't know how long ago already.
Yeah.
They finally made it so. Good, good, good. This is gonna place the stuff. This is gonna make placing the stuff way easier.
Yeah.
You can now play. Yeah,
This next one should satisfy your OCD a little bit.
yeah. Actually, if you scroll down a little bit, the picture below here is. You can actually see this one.
I was gonna save that until we actually go through the
Okay.
text.
Right, you can now place signs on chests, which can be colored and named to your liking. Choose between a text field where you can enter your own name or labels, or one of our in-game icons. I have to admit, in my outpost, I've made a ton of iron cabinets. Iron cabinets store more than the wooden ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I've placed the little signboards in front of them in order to keep track what's stored where. Now
Yeah.
we can do it directly on the storage.
Good.
Nice.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It stops us from opening every single storage box or container to see to try and find what we're looking for.
Exactly. So the next one, also a nice one. Glass jars can no longer be filled with water. Maybe not so nice, but hey. Can no longer be filled with water and used as a drinking vessel, but they can now stack in your inventory for easier transport on longer treks.
Yay!
This one links to a feature upvote dating from this one from August 30th.
Yeah.
So you make a stack of berry jam or a stack of pickled carrots. Those full jars stack. Up until now, the empty jars did not stack. So every time you consumed one, it took an extra slot of your inventory.
Or
So
if your inventory was full, it would drop it.
you had to drop it. Glass, but you need glass and you need iron for it. So it's kind of costly.
Yeah.
Indeed, Scaly. Finally, you can stack the empty glass jars. And
Hey,
welcome to
Carl,
the
how are
stream.
you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether or not this. Well, of course I am. Bottles, they were already stackable.
Yes, when filled.
The bottles, also the empty ones, were stackable.
Oh,
12.
yeah, the bottles were, yes, but
Yeah.
not the glass jars. Good.
But now the jars, the empty jars, are also stackable.
Well, that'll be good news to Carl's ears.
He's more the wine person, right?
Well,
The bottles were destroyed to consumption? That might be true, actually. I
they
don't use
were
them an
actually.
awful
If
lot.
if you were using, I mean, I used glass jars to store water for
For cooking.
making flatbreads.
Yeah.
And doughs, and if you used all of the water in the jar, it would destroy the jar.
The jar as well?
Yep.
Huh, interesting. Ah well, no longer, cause you can't fill them with water no more. But this does mean that we might actually start making the jam again and pickled carrots.
Yes.
Cause you don't lose resources no more.
No.
Interesting. We'll see whether or not we. I mean, quite often we go to tier 3 anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll see whether or not we will be making those gems and pickled carrots again.
We will indeed. This next one is
Uh,
applicable to you, and the one after that is applicable to me.
yeah. So when highlighting building tiles with repair tool, the weather effects no longer pass through as they did before. So remember how last week, 2 weeks, whatever ago, they were like, okay, inside the house you no longer get the rain effect.
Yeah.
You still had if you looked up at the roof with a repair hammer in your hand. No more. Good.
Good. And this next one is applicable to me. Crop plots can now be snapped to floors in the building mode. Yay! How long have we been asking for that?
No, I don't know whether it's horizontal only or also like turning, like putting them under an angle. If they do snap, very much yay. My OCD is gonna love this.
Yep. Yep.
But then the question will be, obviously, if you have the crop plots, you snap them to the floors. Will they snap like one crop plot exactly to the middle of the floor, or this is something we need to test? Or can you put exactly 4 crop plots on one floor?
Yeah.
We definitely need to test this. So as you can see here, you have the chests, one with, from the looks of it, silver, or
Yeah.
another one with aluminum, or these are the in-game icons.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also put a text field in, where you can put silver or aluminum or whatever.
Yeah.
But hey, the icons are nice as well.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's after the user interface improvements, there's an image of
The crop plots, I know.
crop plots gardens.
Hence me saying, or can we do the 2x2 on the floor?
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So, UI improvements. Many of the UI improvements this week come directly from your feedback. Keep using the feature upvote website, as our dev team do read it, and it allows us to identify which fixes we can implement quickly that generate the most value for our community. For example, when placing deployables, you can now see if they are sheltered or not in the location of choosing. This is definitely new.
Good.
The chat box will now scroll to the bottom as we address a bug that was impacting this. Well, we never use the chat actually, we use Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And when deploying from your inventory, the menu will now close as it should. It was already doing this, I believe.
Yeah.
Although I have had instances where it didn't. But in general, it did.
Yeah.
And then I'm still used to like right mouse button deploy, quickly hit escape to close the screen, and then now right mouse button deploy automatically hit escape button, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to hit escape again to go back to the game.
Yeah, I've been doing that because I got so used to just escape to bring it up and escape to get rid of it, and now I'm ending up choosing to deploy it and then having to get rid of the menu again.
But yeah, hey, meh, it's just getting used to it. So
Yeah.
not a biggie. It's
No.
no biggie. So that's for the UI improvements.
Yeah.
Let us continue towards the future content. So we balance delivering updates every week with working on bigger updates and new features. Next week, we are excited to bring you version 1.0 of our mount system. I told you exciting news.
Yay!
We
Woohoo!
are releasing two tameable creatures, a powerful buffalo and a fast-footed moa, a giant flightless bird. So apparently this terror bird is not DLC, but this will come into the base game and to the sticks as well. Probably sticks.
Nice.
Or maybe only sticks. We'll have to wait for next week.
Yeah.
But we were thinking, or at least I was thinking, this mount system was gonna be in the Prometheus DLC.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
have to wait for Prometheus DLC for the mounts. Yay!
Excellent. We like it.
Oh yeah, exactly. So players will be required to find a juvenile versions of either of these two creatures and kill the rest of the pack and any predators before leading them back to a safe location. Buffaloes are so far roaming solo. They're not really traveling in packs. Looks like that might change. Then we see the yieldy herds of buffalo. Oh man, I'm so gonna have you on one side, me on the other side, and shoot an explosive arrow towards them, and have them stampede towards you.
Yeah, and you can you can shoot
Don't
them.
worry, I'll revive you afterwards. After I've looted your corpse.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind.
I know, right? It's all for science.
Excellent.
Okay, let's see. To tame them, you will need to nurture them with food, shelter, and warmth for a small period of time, before they are ready to be used as a mount. Craft a saddle and other necessary items, then test out your new ride. The saddle also acts as a storage unit as you venture across the map. Yay! We can carry more. Be wary though, as your new furry friend... Furry? The mower furry? I thought this was feathered, but okay. Be wary as your new furry friend could become dinner for one of Icarus's more violent foes.
Like
More details next week. Yeah, bear, polar bear,
wolves,
wolf, jaguar,
hyenas,
crocodile, hyena, scorpion,
komodos.
komodo. Yep, and it's going to be interesting. So we can now finally haul a ton of materials.
Well, that might depend on whether or not you can level up your mount.
True, true. I hope
'Cause
the
if you
setups,
can,
especially for the buffalo one, will have a decent amount of storage.
well, you would expect so. I mean, given the fact that it's a buffalo, you would also expect the weight that it can carry to be way more than the moa.
Hey Froggy, hi Rodnop.
Hey,
True.
Froggy and Rodnob, how you doing? Welcome, welcome.
So I'd reckon more speed for the moa and more weight for the buffalo.
Yes.
And it also does make me wonder, can you overburden them? And then cancel out part of the effects by chucking a Neve's pickaxe in as well.
I was just gonna say there. Unless they're carrying that pickaxe in their mouth, I don't think so.
Well, I foresee a lot of testing next week. A lot of testing.
Well, we'll soon see.
So we're also in the closing stages of testing the many gameplay effects of data decentralization and dedicated servers to make sure all of the save file changes are working as intended. We plan on rolling out a branch on Steam with this version of the game in the coming weeks for you to test and give feedback on. Coming
Ooh.
weeks, so not a definitive date yet, and it will be a different branch.
Yeah.
That means if you wanna play multiplayer, either all or none would need this branch, I reckon.
Yeah, but it also gives us an opportunity for extra streams, or different streams at least.
Yeah, true, because you can create 3 new characters.
Yeah.
True.
So,
But yeah, well, time-wise though,
well, we'll see. We'll see what
yeah.
happens.
As for dedicated servers, I'm seriously considering getting one, just for the fun of it.
Yeah,
But we'll
depends
see.
depends how that works as to whether or not there's going to be a network of dedicated servers, kind of like,
Exactly. It's
you know,
like,
like
can you run it on your own hardware? Do you have
exactly.
to rent it as a service? Cost, latency, a lot of things to consider.
Yes, exactly. But if you can have one that you can set up as opposed to using a server that they create, then oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know, dedicated servers also brings a possibility for mods.
Yep.
So I
Um.
wonder how long it'll take before some funky mods start showing up for Icarus.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Gonna be interesting,
Looking
that's for
forward to
sure.
that.
Oh yeah, me too.
And finally,
Yeah, go on.
another common request from our community is for more forms of persistence, which we hear and actively discuss. The dedicated servers will allow us to shake up new ways of playing, such as more outpost features and open world exploration. Yay! Me likey.
Yay, indeed.
And there you go. There's a picture of how you would look on the back of a bison.
Yep. More forms of persistence. Not sure what they exactly mean with more forms of persistence. But
No, me either. But I've no doubt that we'll find out.
yeah, well, I don't go through the feature upvote every day, but so I have no idea what people mean, especially the people who are like requesting more persistence. I don't recall having seen that phrase before, but
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see how it goes.
Okie dokie. And now we're into the change logs. So, if we roughly sum up the new content, we've got a brand new mission called Opulence. They've done minor tweaks to the mission descriptions and requirements. They've updated quest objectives to clarify those requirements. They've added new sign variant that can be placed on walls to label your storage things. They've added the option to display item icons on those wooden signs instead of using writing. Let's just see. They've fixed.
Basically, the new
Yeah,
features is the new mission and the signs on
yeah,
storage device.
yeah. So, in a nutshell, that's the new content.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Do you want to take us through some of this fixed, seeing as it tends to be too technical for me?
Uh, fixed. So if you go to the settings in Icarus, they have, for example, moved the VOV settings from wherever it was before to display. So basically, change the location in the menu.
Yeah.
Removed hidden and unused equipment FOV settings. Oh, good, especially if it's in used. Code optimizations, we like that.
Yeah.
Move lighting effect settings to gameplay. So the VOS settings to display, the lighting settings to gameplay. Basically moving around a bit there.
Yeah.
Rename the disable lighting effects to show lighting effects and inverted the default value. So it no longer says, actually let me find it, lighting effects. So now it's called show lighting effects and it's by default on, I think.
Okay.
Before it was disable lighting effects.
Okay.
It's more in line with the rest of the menu.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So updates to BPs to support these settings changes, good.
Now this is a feature update one, and again.
Walking up ramp to open door stuck at floor beam. Ah, the horizontal beam on top of a ramp.
What?
So you had a ramp going into your base, and you had a horizontal beam perpendicular on top of the ramp, and you got stuck on the beam.
Right. Okay.
I've had this before, indeed. That's why I usually don't use horizontal beams around the edges of the base.
Yeah.
That's the feature of it. So yeah, they have no capsule collisions. The horizontal beams have their walkable slope increased to prevent player getting caught on them. And it tweaks some LED settings. So yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, we like optimization, and speaking of which, there's another one coming up, which is optimized extermination sandworm clue mesh, and they fix up redirectors.
They also fix some insiders in Firesuit missing LEDs. Added LEDs to the Black Wolf knife, the arms armor meshes. Tweaked ballistic PA, changed PM from wood to bone for the Black Wolf knife. What was the material requirements before?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever made the Black Wolf knife.
Yeah, we did that mission. Was it like you need a tooth and a piece of wood or something, and maybe now you need bone and tooth? I don't know. We'll see once we're in game. It should be in one of the armor benches.
Okay.
Black
Okay.
Wolf, I would say tier 3 bench, maybe tier 2.
Okay. Fixed issue where fireplace chimney wouldn't show smoke particle effect when active for clients. Fixed up instances where, excuse me, client initialization was happening on Icarus Begin Play, which would never run. A deployable now has functions that are called when foundation actor and attached deployable actors are updated.
Yeah, so this is the for the new content where active fireplaces now emit smoke from the chimney. I could see it, but apparently clients couldn't, because the clients never knew it was active. As
Yeah.
in, for clients, the chimney never knew the fireplace underneath it was active.
Yeah, it's like when you tested that out, I literally had to stand on top of the chimney in order to see any difference in,
Well,
you would get like a
I
heat
I
haze
had
and the
to.
odd smoke bit, but
It was
for
the same
anybody
for
other
me
than
though.
you, it wasn't. We couldn't see it very well at all.
Yeah. So maybe you can see it better now. Let's hope
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So
Well,
they fixed some assets which had null material reference. Null double L means nothing. So there were assets which had no materials attached to it. That's interesting. Well, they fixed that.
good.
And I think the next one kind of relates to this. Tweak the asset info tool material checking logic. Like, hey,
Yeah,
is there any material attached now?
yeah. If no, please see next bubble, which reads urine ID 10T.
Yeah, exactly. Typical ID10C case.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
Let's see. Change the DM for recovery crash chip defense PP to more optimized version and deleted the old version. So new version, new optimized version, and remove the old one. Good.
Okay, good.
No lingering remaining unused BPs.
Yeah. Now this is
DMs.
this next one's a biggie. The various rare meat types are now correctly affected by the prime meat drop chance underscore percentage stat.
So attachments on your knife. There is an attachment for the knife, which gives you a bigger chance of dropping rare meat. Now, dropping rare meat was always RNG, so
Yeah.
always hard to test. But we should now see an increase in prime meats when using a knife with said attachment.
Yes. Well, given the fact that I'm the hunter, that would be an ideal attachment for any of my knives.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they re-imported the sticks visual map textures at the correct resolution. 1024 pixels instead of the 2049, which is an odd number. I would have expected 2048, but okay. Which allows for streaming to work and reduced further down to 512 pixels to save even more memory. This should result in approximately 1 gigabyte of memory saving.
Hmm.
Especially useful for machines with less memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fix modified text descriptions on many of the food items to reflect the provided buffs, notably coconuts, pointed out on Discord. Thanks for that. Well, we'll have to go into the desert, chop down a bunch of palm trees to see any change, and then we have to remember what it used to say.
Yeah. Well,
We
we
can
had
always check yesterday's stream.
yes, exactly. I was just going to say we had coconuts on yesterday's stream, so it shouldn't be too hard for us to double check that one.
Yeah.
Uh, the next two we've already covered because
Yeah.
they're feature vote items,
They
namely
were
the
mentioned before.
deployables can be rotated first, and the glass jar now being stackable.
And no longer be used to fill with. You can no longer fill them with water. You can't drink from them no more.
Yeah,
But the empty jars will stack now.
yeah, yeah.
The next one also mentioned before the chat
Well, the next
window.
two.
Yeah. The one below the repair tool also mentioned before. So the next one then miscellaneous texture fix up and optimizations.
Yeah.
Like the next one also mentioned before. The on-screen warning text if the deployable is unsheltered.
Yeah.
Before putting it down.
Yeah.
More optimizations of numerous expensive textures. POW format, prisoner of war format where applicable. Alrighty. The next one also mentioned before. The crop plots now snapping to the floor.
Yep.
The next one I've kinda seen it mentioned. That sometimes missions disappeared from the mission tree. I've seen this mentioned in Discord. Apparently, they had access to the new DLC mission talent tree. How the heck does the talent tree affect the mission tree? But okay.
Okay.
So fixing issues where players had access to the DLC mission talent tree, stutter, as it was assigned the wrong archetype and not feature locked. This was causing some prospects near the end of the Olympus mission tree to disappear at various zoom levels.
I've never experienced that myself, so
Me neither. But
maybe.
I've seen this mentioned, like I said, I've seen this mentioned in Discord, where people were like, "Hey, I can't see no mission streams no more."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe it was part of the experimental branch.
No, don't think so. It was during the week, so outside experimental branch live.
Okay. Oh well.
Anyway, so fixed texture optimization setting fix up to reduce memory consumption. They've talked about this before as well. Good. Ignore collisions when deploying crop plots that are snapping. Yeah, related, I reckon, to the whole snapping crop plots thing.
Yeah.
Fix an issue with sign icons not saving to the database correctly. Signs no longer reload blank if they were previously displaying an item icon. Yeah, if you go through the effort of having them display the proper icon, you wanna be the icon there to be again once you reload the game.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Fix an issue causing stockpile ships to be invisible until landed. Okay, I have not heard about this one.
No.
So
I've
apparently
heard of
they
them
came
being
down
invisible.
invisible, and yeah,
We know about them being invisible after takeoff.
and we know of them being invisible on the planet,
Yes.
but not during descent.
No.
Like you hear the sound, you see no nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, it's there
Yeah.
magically.
Abracadabra.
I haven't heard that one. But okay, sure.
Okay.
Another visual change, they increased the Alcazar and decreased the ballistic difficulty ratings,
Well,
but
now they do it.
only in the mission tree. This is purely a visual change.
Oh.
So they didn't do anything with the mission itself, it's just the Alcazar is now, actually, let me check. In the Styx mission tree, hold on, loading the character in, new prospect, Styx, Alcazar, where are you? It's now showing a 4 skull construct a functioning base. It's
Okay.
now showing as a 4 skull, and the ballistic extermination, yes, now reduced to a 2 skull mission. And indeed, the ballistic one, we were like, yeah, you know, why is it a 3 skull? It might even be just a 1 skull difficulty. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. We
So yeah,
seriously overprepared for that one.
yep.
And
So
then
they
had
fixed that.
a lot of fun on the way back to the dropship.
Oh yeah, true that. True that. Yeah, it was really a really easy mission.
Yeah. And last but not least, they fixed a bug where in an inventory, if you right click and hit deploy on an item, i.e. the crafting bench, it would show both the inventory and the placing ghost. Now the inventory automatically closes on button press.
Yeah, like I said, they added this function a while ago already, but it wasn't always working proper. Oh yes, I have had instances where indeed I wanted to deploy from an inventory and it didn't close the menu proper,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the times it worked fine.
Yeah.
But hey, they fixed it now as well,
Okay.
making it close all the time, which is good.
And now we have an absolute buttload of future content ones to go
Yeah.
through. So,
So quickly skimming through them.
yep.
There's the first one is talking a bit about the juvenile animals for the whole taming.
Mm-hmm.
Juvenile current action is aborted when new leader is assigned. Oh, okay. That's why you have to kill the entire pack apparently.
Oh, okay.
can they don't walk as far away anymore. The juveniles decrease juvenile movement, braking speeds. Okay, good. Another interesting one. Submitting fish 04, 05 and 06. The piranha we know, but there's also speedy and a glowfish. Huh.
Ooh.
That's going to be nice to check out in the dark.
Yeah. Speedy fish? Don't like the sound of that.
Well, as long as a predatorial fish, I'm fine with it.
As long as they haven't mixed the piranha and the speedy together, we'll be all right.
Exactly. But the glowfish. Now, if you
Okay.
kill it, you pick it up and you drop it in the base. You don't need no lights no more until they decay. I don't know.
That would be fun to test.
Exactly.
I like the sound of this one. Orphan juveniles will no longer see nearby player tames as valid parents.
The nearby player times.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently, during testing, they noticed like you kill the pack, and like we have seen with the baby deer taking on other animals,
rabbit.
birds,
Yeah.
rabbits, goats, etc.
Crocodiles.
Apparently, the orphan juveniles took on the player tames, the tamed animals, as valid parents.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that would make it hard indeed to tame the juvenile, because
Yeah.
you have to kill the entire pack, so you have to kill your current tame in order to acquire a new tame.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And the
I'm
one
glad they
after
fixed that.
and the one after it could have been fun to play with can now interact with juvenile creatures to cancel current taming progress.
Yeah, let's hope it's not all interaction that is gonna cancel it, but a specific button press.
Yeah, but I could just imagine, like a team of 6 players and somebody's trying to tame a juvenile, and then one of the other players, just to mess with the person's head, goes up and cancels the taming progress and it runs away. And the dude comes back and goes, "Where's my bloody bison gone?"
Well, you're gonna make a pen to tame the animals in to keep it safe from
Well, yeah, I mean,
predators.
yeah,
So
you would think,
yeah,
but not everybody thinks to do that.
do keep in mind, Echo, friendly fire is enabled here. So you start messing with my tames, you might find yourself on the sharp end of an arrow.
Okay, I will be sure to turn friend to fire off in my settings.
Yeah. So here's a new animal being mentioned, our dog.
Our
No idea what it's
dog.
gonna be. I kind of hope it's the thing from, if you go to the Rocketworks website, it plays this video in the background.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope
the
it's the
stripy
big one
looking
with
dog
the,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, they look so cool.
exactly. So they added a server-wide chat message when a mount dies. Could be handy.
Yep.
The M creature they've talked about before, so yeah. Nothing really new there. Moa, baby Moa, yeah. Rock dog. Oh, our dog is a rock dog, apparently.
Here's here's a good one. Juvenile creatures now require sleep. They no longer need shelter. Fixed juvenile creatures not wanting to eat or sleep without a nearby parent. Fixed mount stamina bar not working for clients. Mount jump and attack now consume stamina. Added the Moa saddle. Can no longer ride a mount if holding a focus locked item, i.e., deer carcass. So you can't jump on a mount with a deer over your shoulder.
It makes me wonder, will you be able to ride a mount with a bunny on your belt?
Yes, because you can still use a weapon with a bunny on your shoulder.
True. Yeah, you're right. There's not focus locked in. Yeah.
Fix a bug
Okay.
where first-person rotation limits could be applied when riding a mount, and mounts are now always network relevant.
Well, the fixed juvenile creatures not wanting to eat or sleep without a nearby parent. That's good, because the feeding the juvenile is a part of the taming process.
Yeah, exactly. So you kill off the rest of the herd in order to tame it, and then it refuses to eat because you killed its mummy.
Yeah, and then it dies and you still have no mount.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
yeah,
glad I fixed that.
yeah. That sounds like it would have been just diabolically difficult to get mounts. Impossible, even.
Yeah, you have to force feed them somehow.
Yeah. And there's one four underneath that says fixed juvenile taming tool kit. Blech. Try again.
Tooltip not replicating correctly for clients.
Thank you.
Fixed juvenile tames current leader to not being replicated to the clients. Okay.
Well,
Ah well.
there you go.
Yeah. And LED's the predator bird. I think that's the MOA. Patch note said it was predatorial, right? Let me scroll up a bit. Or was it in the... I don't know anymore. Future content. No, MOA is a giant flightless bird, not
Yeah.
predatorial. So maybe, maybe not. Anyway, you see here the add LEDs to Rock Dog. So our dog is Rock Dog, I think.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So the M creature will have a teenage version as well.
Yep.
Adding in base Needler assets, skeletal mesh, and all base animations for implementation. So Needler, there's another animal. Could it be that small rodent-like animal from the video?
Could be. Could
It kind
be.
of had spiky-ish stuff, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Um.
If you go a bit down, so submitting Needler and Needler carcasses, you should definitely a new animal there. But
Mhm.
the one below, adding clay, scoria, supercooled ice, obsidian, tomatoes, potatoes, clay
Ooh.
bricks, and shaped obsidian resource items. Oh,
Obsidian.
that's gonna be interesting. Huh?
Shaped obsidian resource items. Arrows, maybe?
You have to scroll a bit up. You just scrolled it out of the image. Oh no, wait, mine was scrolled. Right. Yeah, I don't know, but so we have new food: tomatoes, potatoes,
Yeah.
clay bricks. I foresee adobe buildings.
Yeah.
Obsidian could be arrows, maybe
May
better even than flint arrows.
maybe even a kiln to make, I don't know, other stuff.
Uh, not sure what scoria means, by the way. Let's see.
I was just going to say I've no idea what scoria is.
Pyroplastic, highly vascular, dark-colored volcanic rock that was ejected from a volcano as a molten blob and cooled in the air to form discrete grains or clasts. I'm reading Wikipedia here
Okay,
for the people who think I know a
so
lot. I know a lot, but not everything.
it sounds a bit like lava.
Scoria is relatively low in density as a result of its numerous macroscopic ellipsoidal vesicles. But in contrast to pumice, all scoria has a specific gravity greater than 1 and sinks in war. So
Okay.
basically a very porous, light type of rock.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you can.
Not the best material for building, I'd say. Not the best
No.
one.
No. Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, clay bricks, that's definitely new for building.
Oh yeah.
Obsidian, ooh, that's a very hard, very sharp, glass-ish material.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it would be very
obs
nice for arrows,
knives,
axes, pickaxe. No, pickaxe is not, I think. I'm not sure it would
knives,
stand, but yeah, nice. Axe.
axes for sure. Um.
So
Yeah.
this is gonna be cool.
They sound really good. Okay, I'm just kind of skimming down here. We've got sulfur pool material added. Landscape sculpting. Oh, here's a good one. Fixed trank arrows, sometimes duplicating the resulting mount character when temporary taming process completes.
Indeed, I read this and I was like, oh, so they were talking about this temporary taming process before. Apparently, you have to shoot them with trank arrows, and then I don't know, put a saddle on, and then whilst they're still groggy, they're docile. But
And
once the trank wears off, they like run off with all your stuff. I don't
yeah,
know.
and that would maybe also explain the taming sickness that they were talking about.
Maybe, quite possibly.
Okay.
Anyway, we get an ice waterfall. Cool. That's gonna be cool looking.
Yeah. Added new exotic resource type, setting up new
Unstable and
currency
stable.
and deposit nodes.
Yeah, I was not sure when I was reading this. I was like, okay, we're gonna get yet a new currency into the game.
Well,
Maybe specific DLC. I don't know.
if you think about it, right, when they brought out the fact that we had to do the geezers and we had to do the
Enzymes.
the geezer enzymes, and we had to do the 3 stages of enemies before we even got any,
Mm-hmm.
right? They were talking about that becoming a new currency at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but yeah,
might have something to do with that.
maybe. I do hope that's not gonna be the new currency though, because it's gonna be quite easy,
That
relatively easy to mine in your outpost.
yeah.
You have unlimited materials in your outpost, so you can basically you can fortify a geyser to the hilt, and then basically run the geyser over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So it's
But
gonna be relatively
they
easy to cheese that currency.
yeah, but maybe they'll do it the same way that they did the XP, in so much as you get a very small amount of XP in your outpost.
Nice still.
Or they made it, in the same ways they made the fact that you can't just cheese exotics from your
That is,
outpost.
it's for a reason that you can't get exotics in your outpost. It would be too
Yes.
easy. It would lose the value.
Yeah. So they'll probably do the same with us too.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, there's the unstable and the stable variant. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
interesting.
Yeah, new currency and deposit nodes. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this.
Hmm.
I'm a tad torn.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna get a new ice borer for getting supercooled ice from ice nodes. So ice node is gonna be the new node type, and the supercooled ice is the new resource, and you need a new item, being the ice borer. Add a talent and a recipe for ice borer item. So people who already have spec'd out their characters have to use respec points in order to use this ice borer. I'm not happy.
Unless they did what they did with the last time they added a talent, in so much as they give you a a, a mission that will A, unlock the talent on your tree, and B, give you talent points to spend in it.
Actually, it unlocked a blueprint.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but so people have relatively balanced out characters already,
Yeah.
and now if you want this resource, I mean, sure, the last challenge you got that was just for extra buffs on food, on veggies and meat. If
Yeah.
you don't want this extra buff, you don't need to use the talents. You don't need those buffs. But for this one, if you need the talent in order to be able to mine the resource, I'm not gonna be happy.
Yeah. But here's a question for you. We use ice, normal ice, for a
Yeah,
refrigerator.
yeah.
Does that mean that if this is super cooled ice, that we get to make a freezer?
With even slower spoil times? I don't know, maybe.
Well, permanently stop the spoil time because of the fact that it's actually frozen.
Uh, yeah, I don't know,
I mean,
maybe.
what would you need super cooled ice for?
I don't know. I
Unless you
have
maybe
no
wanted to
freaking
try
idea.
and put it into a thermos flask so that you could drink it in the desert, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This is all future.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, I think.
And then, yeah, indeed, it depends on what you're gonna need this resource for. Still, the fact that you need a talent point, in order to get a resource, I'm not too happy about.
Hmm.
This is gonna be the first instance, as far as I know, where you need a talent point in order to get a certain resource.
Yeah.
The rest is all blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, this next two are quite interesting, I think. Um, Adding an exotic seed item, farming setup, and growth stages.
Exotic plants.
Mm. Adding new
Yeah.
exotic processing device, talents, recipes for processing exotics. So maybe that would allow us then to craft the exotic fused. If you remember the exotic fused pickaxe you used.
Okay, if we can make that, that's gonna be worth a talent point. That's for sure. That's so gonna be worth a talent point.
I,
I mean, I
I,
can take off talents from the increased durability in order to make an exotic infused pickaxe. Michael, welcome by the way, says shield and spear. What? You mean exotics infused shield and? Oh no, the shield is further up. We get there. Don't worry. So yeah, I do remember the exotic infused pickaxe. Man, the thing had a gazillion durability.
yeah, and you absolutely loved it to the point where you were reluctant to let anybody have a shot.
Yep, is what got
I'm
me into
I'm the
mining.
I'm the miner. It's mine.
Yeah, oh yeah, pun intended, eh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Um. Okay. Where
Uh,
was that? Shield and spear.
yeah, implemented
Oh,
wooden
there we
shield
go.
item along with shield functionality. Indeed. That's going to be
Ooh.
interesting. So, can we use a shield to protect us against, say, sandworm spitting poison or cave worm spitting poison?
Might depend on whether or not it's a round shield or a tower shield.
I'm starting to think of like multiplayer, obviously, one person with a shield and one behind it with a weapon.
Yeah. Or are we going to get the ability? I mean, we already have the machete. Are we going to have the ability for a wood, a shield and spear together, as Michael said, or maybe a shield and sword?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on whether it's a one-handed shield, which is going to be small, so not really that useful
Yeah,
against
like a
poison
buckler.
and stuff. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
is it going to be a proper big two-handed shield where you can properly take cover behind?
yeah.
I kind of hope for the latter.
Oh, there we go. We did miss it. Look, there's fixed shield related data table validation failure
I know there's
above it.
three items, and there's also three items underneath the implement wooden shield.
Yeah.
So a bit of repetitive there. Uh, but yeah, I do hope it's going to be a proper big shield where you can take cover behind, proper, and then
Yeah.
have someone behind you shooting or hitting with a spear or whatever against the against creatures,
Mhm.
against predators.
Mhm.
It's gonna
Yeah.
make some missions. It might make some missions slightly easier. But then again,
Yeah.
if you have the Scorpion King running towards you, I'm not gonna take cover behind the shield. I'm gonna
No,
get the
but
heck
think
out
about
of
it.
his path.
If you can make a titanium shield.
Yeah, you seen what happens if that thing uh, storms towards you, like charges towards you.
Oh yeah, but no, I mean I'm talking about when it actually stops walking towards you in order to do the tail
True,
strike.
true,
You
true.
you could actually use the shield to block the tail strike and then do a riposte back with an attack with a I don't know. I would have used a sword or the machete even because that
Yeah.
does the same thing.
Or maybe this is. So we were talking about the new spike animals.
Mhm.
Are they gonna shoot spikes?
Ooh. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Like a
We have.
porcupine, they actually like a porcupine, they would shoot their spines at you, and then you would block with a shield.
Yeah, we have a couple of nice
Ooh,
possibilities here, actually. You know.
ooh, it's getting interesting now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me likey
Unfortunate is
that.
all future.
Wow.
Unfortunately, is all future content, so we we have to
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. Put it this way: if any of this comes true, you heard it here first.
Yep.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
and I do believe that that rounds off the update for this week.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Some interesting prospects on the horizon for sure.
Oh
That was
yeah.
really good. Looking forward to playing
And
this new mission, the stockpile mission.
yeah, big teaser for next week.
Oh, for the mounts. Can't
Oh yeah.
wait. It's going to be awesome.
I'm so glad I'm not on vacation by then. I'm so glad it's my weekend home, but then so I have a lot of time to play. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make mounts. Oh, I'm gonna mount a mount. I'm gonna make a mountain of mounts.
Yeah. And then we can just turn friendly fire on and slaughter them all. And start again.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
okay. So
Right.
that definitely wraps up this week's update.
Yep.
We will return. I'm actually going to take a half hour because I haven't eaten any supper yet. So we will return at
Make it 27 minutes.
27 minutes, you know, whatever. So we will return at 1/2 past the hour. Um, so we hope to see you then. We look forward to seeing you then. Um, this has been this week's update. It's been great. And until then, it's good night from me,
And good night from her.
and we will see you on the next one. Remember, peeps, it's a dangerous world out there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, see ya.